So you're looking to ace your upcoming exam, but you have no idea how to go about doing that. Hey everyone, if you're watching this video, it's probably because your test taking strategies aren't getting you the grades that you want. Now, I've taken hundreds and hundreds of exams over my lifetime, and I've come up with the best strategy to maximize your grades on your exams, so let's get into that. So first things first, if you want to get the best grade possible on your exam, you need to study with the goal of getting 100% on that exam. And I know it's not realistic in a lot of cases to actually get 100% on an exam. I've only done it a couple of times, but the reality is if you're looking to get the best grade possible, you can't be studying for anything less than the best. I mean, if you aim for an 80 on the exam and you get 10 to 15% less than what you were aiming for, you might not be happy with your grade. But if you aim for 100% and you get 10 to 15% less than 100%, 85, 90% is still amazing. So aim for 100% every time you're studying to take a test, and you will get the best grade possible. Now, the next thing you want to do to prepare yourself for these exams is to get your hands on as many practice problems as possible. This could be the practice problems that your teachers post, and if they haven't uploaded any, maybe old exams, maybe anything that you found online, anything that old students may have had to hand down to you, anything you can get your hands on that is an exam that will reflect similarly to the one that your professor is giving you. Get your hands on it, because believe me, practicing what is going to be tested is the best way to get the best grade. And of course, it's not going to be the same questions every time. I mean, teachers tend to change up the questions every year because they know people are going to be passing down exams, or they might give you last year's exam and they're obviously going to change it so that you don't have to copy paste what you just studied. But essentially, they're going to be asking similar formatted questions, and it's getting used to that teacher's specific format that's going to allow you to get comfortable. When you see something on the exam day that reminds you of something you've done before, you will be able to be prepared to answer it. Okay, so now that's the preparation out of the way. What do we do during the actual exam to get the best grade possible? Now, first things first, write your name on the exam. You don't want to turn in an exam without a name on it and get a 0. But no, look, actually what you need to be doing first when you get the exam is to do the questions in the order that they come in. Because look, I know a lot of people like to scan through the exam and do the questions that they know how to do first. And I know I have some friends that scan through the exam to assess how difficult it's going to be. But believe me, all of that is just going to stress you out. What I do is I do the questions in the order that they come in, and I mark the questions that I don't know if I have to skip them so that I can come back to them. But you want to try to do them all in order so that you don't stress yourself out, so that you don't think about a million things at once, and that you assess every question one thing at a time, and that you do them one at a time so that your mind isn't all over the place and you could really focus on what it is that's in front of you. Because look, the last thing you want to do is stress yourself out on an exam by flipping to the last page and realizing how much of a monster the last question is, and it's going to scare you, and then the entire exam you're going to be thinking about, oh my god, how am I going to solve that last one? And it's just going to disrupt your focus. Your focus is your key on the exam. It's going to be the key to remembering everything that you studied. So try to do things one at a time so you don't stress yourself out, and just, like I said, mark the questions and come back to them if you need to. So here's a pro tip, something I developed with years of experience taking exams, and that's if you don't know the answer to a question, look for hints in other questions. For example, you're taking a multiple choice exam and a question comes up and it's which is false concerning the heart. And now you're looking in the answers and you know which one's false for sure, so you circle it. Later on, you get to another question, which following is true concerning the heart? And now you don't know because they're a lot more ambiguous, but if you go back to that question of which is false concerning the heart, you know that the options that you didn't circle are true. So if those statements come back in the next question, then you know that those are true, and it can give you a hint as to which one is going to be the correct answer. And not only in multiple choice, sometimes you'll be writing a development answer, you'll be writing a big paragraph and you need to write key terms and you forgot the word because you're too stressed out. If you go back to the multiple choice, you might find that word that you were missing that you can come back and implement there to secure some points. So like I said, your test not only is examining what you know, but sometimes has notes themselves that you could use to answer other questions. So don't underestimate the power of looking in other questions to use them as hints to answer other ones. Now, I want to address this because I think it's one of the most important ways to get the best grade possible on an exam, and that's knowing where to secure points. For example, if you're taking a multiple choice exam, you know that for every question that you circle correctly, you get a point. But if you're doing something with development questions where you're writing a paragraph or maybe you're solving a problem, you need to know what elements of your response give you points. If I'm writing an entire paragraph explaining a specific metabolic pathway, it doesn't matter how much I understand it and how well I explain it. If there are points accorded to knowing the substrate's name or knowing what the enzyme is, and I didn't include that in my response, I won't get the points for it. So you can understand something and you can know it as well as possible, but if you're not taking the exam how it's intended to be taken, and you're not going to collect the points that are accorded in those specific questions, you won't get the best grade possible. So you need to make sure to understand where it is that you collect your points and write your answers accordingly. Now, this next thing might sound obvious, but if you're looking to get the best grade possible on your exam, you need to learn to manage your time. Because exams are time limited, so you don't have all the time in the world to remember something or to write down an answer. And so in your preparation while studying for this exam, you need to make sure that you're remembering things as fast as possible, that you're solving problems as fast as possible. You need to prepare accordingly. And during the exam, you need to learn not to waste your time on things that you don't know. If you really don't know the answer to a question, don't stick on it because it's not going to get solved. You need to go do the things that you know how to do and get the points where you can get them, and then come back to it if you have time. But I'm not going to spend 30 minutes of my exam on a problem I don't know how to solve and have that cost me other points where I could have easily secured them on questions I actually did know how to answer. So like I said, do your exam in the order that it comes in, but if that's going to waste your time, skip it and come back to it when you have the time. Now, this last thing is also very crucial to getting the best grade possible on an exam, and that is stress tolerance. You need to be able to tolerate the stress that comes with performing in a quick period of time. I mean, exams are stressful. I've been there many times, and I stress out every single time, but you need to learn how to manage that stress. Whether it's a breathing technique, it's a stress ball, whatever it is that will help you manage your stress during the exam, because it doesn't matter how well prepared you are to take that exam, you will forget everything if you're stressed. But that's pretty much it. That is everything that I personally do to get the best grades possible on my exams. Now, if there's anything that I want you to take away from this video, is to learn to manage your stress and to know what is expected from you on your exams, because without those crucial factors, you may not perform well no matter how prepared you are. If you have any tips on how to perform better on exams that you've gained through experience, let me know down in the comments below. This could honestly help me out on my future exams. This could help out other people watching this video. But besides that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here, and always remember to stay focused.